you are a DIY homeowner and you just really want to try to sell your home on your own, then this is the video for you. These are 10 simple steps of what you need to do in order to sell your home without a realtor. I'm Shamika Fox, your Santa Cruz real estate expert. Full transparency, I am a real estate agent. I've been doing this for 20 years. I have seen both success stories and complete epic failures in some instances when I've spoken to homeowners who decided to DIY their own home sale. And I would say that one of the biggest hurdles that homeowners need to understand before proceeding in selling their home as a for sale by owner is the emotional aspect of selling your very own home. There's a lot that goes into it, including marketing and prep, et cetera, but it really comes down to, do you have the stomach to save on your commission and be able to approach this from a business standpoint and be able to negotiate on behalf of yourself and be able to price your home on behalf of yourself? If so, check out this video for 10 simple steps on how to sell your home without a realtor. If you find this video and the other videos that we produce educational, engaging, and maybe slightly entertaining, please hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025, and we're on our way, but we are not quite there. So every time somebody hits that like and subscribe button, you help us reach our goal. All right, let's dive right in. Step number 1, as a for sale by owner, if you are trying to sell your home without a real estate agent, please remember this. You only have one chance to make a first impression. Make sure your curb appeal is on point. So number 1 is curb appeal. If you need to pressure wash your driveway or your walkway or the exterior of your house so that it sparkles and shines, please do so. If you need to bring in some mulch or some rock so that your landscaping looks tidy and neat and beautiful, please do so. If you need to add a little paint, maybe paint your front door or add some potted plants to bring in a pop of color, please do so. You only have one chance to make a first impression. If a buyer drives up to your home and they are ready to get out and look at it and they don't like what they see, before they have even walked inside your front door, they have made their decision not to buy your home. Now that can be reversed if they continue to look, but it is really hard to recover from making a bad first impression. Okay, number 2, please make sure that you clean your house. There are the 3 Ds: depersonalize, declutter, and deodorize. Make sure that when somebody comes in the front door after they have been wowed by the curb appeal, that you don't have photos of your family everywhere, that you don't have a pillow with a photo of your dog on it, that you didn't leave your chess game that's half finished on the dining room table. Make sure all the personality, I know it's boring, but remove the personality. You really want to attract more buyers. The more buyers that you can attract to your home, the better results you'll have. So depersonalize your home. Now declutter. You're moving, right? Pack everything up. I want it to feel like a minimalistic hotel. I want people to walk into your house and feel as if they are on vacation. If they start getting distracted by messes, they will not have the sentiment to love your home, and we know that your home is lovable. Deodorize. Do you have pets? Have you smoked in the house? If your home smells bad, maybe it's musty, maybe it's been closed for a couple of weeks because you've been on vacation or you're not living there because it's an investment property, make sure that you open it up and you air it out. I personally cannot stand those plug-in deodorizing air fresheners. I think that it seems like you're trying to mask a smell, so then it's a bad smell on top of a bad smell. And so I don't like those. I wouldn't recommend them. But if you do a really deep clean and you use a good cleaning product like bleach, I don't know, I like things super clean, then chances are that your home will be able to recover from any sort of bad smell or bad odors. If it can't, you can do things like painting, carpet cleaning, or replacing your carpet. Those are the areas that will harbor the most pungent smells. So step number 2 is make your home look good. Depersonalize, declutter, deodorize, and deep clean. 4 things, 4 Ds. The other thing that I will say as far as presentation goes for number 2, bring in a stager. Homes look so much better when they're staged. They sell for more money when they're staged. Buyers don't have the vision to walk into a room that might be an office, or it might be a guest room, or it might be a nursery, and envision themselves there. Bring in a stager. You can actually hire a stager to come in and consult with you. If your home is vacant and you're not living in the property, then you can actually hire a stager to stage your home. If you are living in your property, a lot of stagers will come in and they will help you organize, and they will help you utilize the space in its best light with your furniture. If you need referrals to a great local stager, please feel free to reach out to me. I would be happy to connect you with my favorite vendors. Number 3 is all about marketing. It's photography, it's video, it is getting the assets that you need for your home so that you can post them everywhere you need to post them so you can attract in buyers. But I'm going to say 2.5 before we get to number 3. And I'm going to say get your Rolodex out, because remember, probably the chances are that you are choosing to DIY the home sale of your home is because you want to save money. So before you start spending money on things like marketing and photography, get your Rolodex out, start making phone calls to family, friends, neighbors, anybody that you work with. You might actually be able to find the buyer for your home just simply by making phone calls and networking. I would say start there before you start spending money on actual photography and marketing and things like that, because those things will start to add up. And I, again, assume that you are selling your home for sale by owner because you want to save money. So start with your Rolodex, and then we'll go into number 3. That was 2.5. Number 3 is make sure that you utilize professional photography. Hire a photographer. The difference between photos that are taken even on a really nice camera or your iPhone, which has high quality cameras, I would say that the professional photography makes a world of difference. And when you are having your home professionally photographed, make sure that the toilet seats are down. Drives me crazy when I see toilet seats that are up in photos. Make sure that all the light bulbs and the lights turn on and work. Make sure that all of your window blinds or window coverings are open. Everybody wants a home that shows light and bright. And make sure that the home is clean and ready to go for your professional photography. You only have one chance to make a first impression. Most buyers shop for a home online before even stepping out of their house to decide which homes to go and look at. So you really need to take that moment in time to capture their attention so that your home makes the list of homes they want to tour in person. Number 4, make sure that your home is uploaded to real estate websites like Zillow, like Redfin, like Trulia. I would even go one step further and suggest that you hire a real estate company that is willing to, for a flat fee, input your listing in the MLS. The MLS is the multiple listing service. That is where all realtors go to search for homes that are for sale. That is our secret weapon. That's where we have access to a database of sellers who want to sell their home. So we can look and we can see if your home's features meet our buyer's needs. And then we can schedule an appointment to show your home to our buyers. So there are companies out there that will simply, for a flat fee, do an input of your listing, and they will upload the photos, they will upload the description, they will input it on the MLS. The MLS that then syndicates to Zillow, to Redfin, to Trulia, to all the other real estate platforms, so that your home will be seen by many more buyers and even buyers agents. Let's talk about buyers agents really quickly. I know you want to save money. That's why you're selling your home on your own, but you are most likely going to be put in a situation where you're negotiating with a buyer's agent. Most buyers do utilize buyer's agents. Now, I know that our industry has changed over the last year with regards to how commission and compensation structures work, but generally speaking, we are still seeing that buyers will have a buyer broker agency agreement with their agent, and they will then write in the purchase agreement, which is the offer that they submit to you, requesting that the seller cover the compensation for their buyer's agent. So, since most likely 9 times out of 10, a buyer is going to come through your home with their realtor, I would highly, highly recommend hiring a company that is able to input your listing in the MLS so that it can syndicate and so that other realtors can see your listing. Number 5, make sure you have a CMA, a comparative market analysis or a competitive market analysis. This is an analysis of what your property is worth. If you do not know how to find out or figure out what your property is worth, and again, please remember to take your emotion out of it. I know that most homes are filled with emotion. You brought your kid home, or you had a party there, or it was your grandparents' house. I get it. It's really important to you. A buyer doesn't see value in that. They don't care that that's where you brought your kid home from the hospital, or that that's where you had your grandma's 100th birthday. They really don't care. So take the emotion out. If you need help with a market analysis, feel free to reach out to me. I would be happy to help you at least start the process of understanding what the market will bear or should bear or could bear for your specific property. But make sure you have a comparative market analysis so that you know how to price your home without the emotion attached. There are adjustments that will be made based on your specific home. Maybe there's a home that's sold right around the corner, but it has 3 bedrooms and yours only has 2. Those are adjustments that need to be made so that you can understand the real value in today's market of what your home should be listed for. Number 6, showings. Be prepared to have your phone ringing incessantly. Your phone will ring not only with buyers who are interested in looking at your property, with agents who would like to show your property, but your phone is also going to ring with agents who are going to try and convince you not to sell for sale by owner and to list with them. I would suggest either you can have like a property specific 1-800 number that's dedicated. It's a call or a lead capture phone number that's dedicated specifically to selling your home, or you can buy a burner phone. But don't put your phone number on the internet because it will ring all the time. I get phone calls from, before 7 in the morning sometimes, all the way after 10 o'clock. I do shut my phone off when I go to sleep at night because sleep is very important to me so that I can do my job and I can perform well. But your phone will ring all the time once you put your home on the market with a phone number for people to call you. So get a burner phone, get ready for showings, make sure that you have the key elements of what you should do when you are showing your home. So generally speaking, we want all lights on, we want window coverings, blinds, shades open, make your home show as light and bright as possible. We want beds made, we want it smelling good, we want pillows fluffed, we want it to show in its best light so that a buyer will be attracted to write an offer on your home. You will be the person showing your home. That said, when I list a home, my number 1 rule is that the seller can't be there during the showing, because inevitably either the seller and the buyer start talking and the seller says something that's weird or uncomfortable and the buyer is put off, or the seller starts negotiating and the buyer starts negotiating back. It's going to be challenging because you're the showing agent, you're listing your home. But if you can, and the buyer comes with their own buyer's agent, open the door, greet them, and then step outside and let them do their thing. Less is more. Don't overspeak. Don't offer information or negotiations without being asked first. Step out, let them view your home. The agent that the buyer is with will ask you the questions or communicate with you with what is needed. If it is a buyer on their own looking, then I guess that's the wild, wild west of real estate. I would still suggest stepping out so they can have some privacy to actually feel comfortable in looking at your home. I have been told by many of my buyers that they feel so uncomfortable looking at a home when a seller is in the home because they don't want to overstep, or they feel like the seller is lurking, they don't want to offend them, so they end up not liking the home, not because they wouldn't like the home, but because they couldn't see the home because the seller was following them around, telling them about all these experiences that they've had at their home, when the buyer just wanted to experience the home for themselves and make the decision as to whether or not this is going to be the home for them. So step out while you're showing your home. Number 7, negotiation. Chances are that a realtor is going to bring a buyer into your house and that the buyer will have representation for themselves. When that happens, the buyer's broker will write an offer. In California, it's called a residential purchase agreement. That's the contract that we use to negotiate the purchase of a home. They will write an offer and they will present you that offer. At that time, I would highly recommend, and since you're not hiring a realtor to represent you and be able to analyze the contract and explain it to you and offer suggestions with regards to negotiation, I would highly recommend you hire a real estate attorney for this portion of the for sale by owner. Hire a real estate attorney, have them help you negotiate the contract, and have them help you with the seller disclosures. Seller disclosures are required. If you omit something, or you miss something, or you lie about something, all that money that you thought you were saving because you didn't hire a realtor is out the window, because you're going to end up in a lawsuit because of non-disclosure. Disclosure in California is very crucial. It's very important. So for the negotiation, when you are doing contracts, when you are filling out the disclosures for the buyer, I would suggest that you hire a real estate attorney to guide you through that. Number 8 is contract signing. This is where I want to reinforce that I would highly recommend that you hire a real estate attorney to guide you through the contract before you sign it. If you sign a contract as a seller and you change your mind and you don't have any contingencies that would allow you to cancel the escrow, you very well could be required to actually sell your home. Interesting story. Years ago, I had buyers. We were in contract. The house that was being sold was a tumultuous divorce. The husband and wife were not speaking to each other. We submitted an offer. We went back and forth with counters for days. Finally, we came to an agreement. All parties signed. We had a binding, ratified contract. And then the son stepped in and he said, actually, I don't want my parents to sell this house in their divorce. I want to buy it. And the sellers tried to cancel the escrow. They didn't have any contingencies. They wouldn't let us in for our inspections. They wouldn't let us in for our appraisal, which we needed for the loan. So everything was halted. And I told my buyers, you have 2 choices here. You can cancel. That's an easy one. Or you got to hire an attorney and see if we can fight this, because contractually they are obligated to sell because they agreed to sell. We did go to court, and the judge required that the sellers proceed with the contract and that the sellers allowed us to have access to the property for our inspections and for our appraisal. So if you are a seller and you are doing a for sale by owner, make sure you understand what you are signing and make sure you understand the terms of the contract. Because if you need a contingency to find a replacement property or a contingency for whatever reason, you really need to make sure that's written in the contract. That is very, very important. Hire a real estate attorney for that portion of this transaction to guide you through the purchase agreement and to guide you through the disclosures. Number nine is contingencies. When you get the offer from the buyer, they are going to note the terms of the offer. It's going to have price, it's going to have terms such as their contingency period, and it's going to have a close of escrow. The contingency period when you are in escrow is a time where you have to give access to a buyer your house so they can do a home inspection, so they can do a pest inspection, so they can do any inspection that they want to do on the property to make sure that the property is in the condition that they want it to be in order to proceed with the purchase. The other contingencies that most likely will be in play or could be in play is a loan contingency and an appraisal contingency. So during that time, a buyer is going to be inspecting your home, all the nooks and crannies. Make sure your home looks good during the inspection period as well. Don't just say, oh, now we're in contract, I can stop cleaning up after myself, because during the inspection period, the inspectors are going to prejudge your home even before they start inspecting. If they feel like the home is in bad condition based on the cleanliness of it, it will impact their inspection. So until a buyer's contingencies are removed, a buyer is allowed to cancel escrow and have their initial deposit refunded to them or returned to them. So once you get through the contingency period, now we're up to number 10, and this is signing and closing. This is when you'll go to the title company, you'll sign the transfer deed, you'll sign off on all the documents that you need in order to transfer your property to the new owners, and all of the documents that show where the money from the buyers is going into, what account it is, how you want the funds dispersed, etc. Then at the close of escrow, on the date of the close of escrow, you need to be out of your house. Generally speaking, now all terms in a contract can be negotiated, but generally speaking, a buyer will want to take possession on the date of the close of escrow. So most of my sellers, I advise them to be packed and ready to go if they are not already moved out. And once the buyer's contingencies are removed, you need to move out, because usually the time from contingency removal to close is approximately 10 days to 2 weeks. So you have to be ready to pick up and be out. On the date of the close of escrow, the property needs to be delivered to the buyers in the same condition that it was when they wrote the offer. So make sure that there's nothing that's newly damaged. If there was anything that was supposed to be fixed that was negotiated, that needs to be completed. And then you're going to hand the buyers the keys. They're going to take over your house and you're going to get your big paycheck. So that is the 10 simple step process if you are a DIY seller and you want to sell your home without a realtor. I do have a little bit of information that I want to share with you before you make this decision. Generally speaking, a home seller will get more money on a sale when using a realtor. These are statistics that are provided by the National Association of Realtors. They're given to us annually. So these are the 2024 statistics with regards to for sale by owners. According to a study, for sale by owners accounted for 6% of home sales in 2024. The typical for sale by owner home sold for $380,000 compared to $435,000 for an agent assisted home sale. The most difficult tasks that a for sale by owners noted that they had during the sales process were getting the price right, selling within the length of time that they planned or needed to, understanding and performing the paperwork, preparing or fixing up the home for sale, having enough time to devote to all aspects of the sale. Remember, this is not your full-time job mostly. So if you have another job, it will eat into the time that you have to dedicate yourself to that other job. Helping buyer obtain financing. If a buyer comes to you without a realtor and they need financing, our job is to help them get that financing and help them navigate that process. So as a seller who wants to sell, if your buyer doesn't have representation, you might have to help them navigate to finding and securing a loan in order to be able to purchase your home. And lastly, attracting the right potential buyers. So if you are a home seller who is considering selling your home without a realtor, please check out this video. If you decide you do want help selling with a realtor, please reach out to me. I would love to be your realtor of choice in the Santa Cruz area. And if you are considering buying or selling outside of the Santa Cruz area, please fill out the form in my bio or description, and we can schedule a complimentary consultation with no obligation. And lastly, I have a request because I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. We're almost at 600, which I'm really proud of. If you have enjoyed this video and you find the videos that we produce enlightening, engaging, entertaining, or add any sort of value to your life, please hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, do all the things that you do on YouTube so that I can collect you as a subscriber. I'm Shamika Fox, your Santa Cruz real estate expert. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you on the next one.